Hello YouTube, replacing the rear struts. Look at all the tools it takes. I had to jack the car up. I got it on a jack stand and the tire with some blocks of wood. And this is free to go up and down. See that? Got to kind of pry down. But this jack was kind of to adjust this up and down a little bit. I ended up letting it all the way down. But all different tools and spray. Big bolt here. I don't think you're going to be able to see up in there. You got one stud that comes off the strut. I'll go over and show you. Then the other's two bolts from down below. And they have a 10mm head, even though they're a pretty good sized bolt. So you're going to need some long extensions. But I laid her on the ground, got them loose. So none of that stuff is rusted. This came off, took my big breaker bar. Oh, you know my giant one, I'll show it to you. To get it broke loose. See how the nuts welded on there? And I have an alignment punch to line it up if I have to, but it's not too bad. This is not a how-to video. It's just what I'm doing today. We'll take over and show you what the difference between the two struts. They're the same height, but that don't mean they're going to be that way when you settle the weight on it. Okay, they look just about the same height. Almost exactly. I said, this is that bounce thing, bounce bump, whatever, when you bottom out. They don't have that on the stock ones, but these are built way better. 200,000 miles on these. This has a smaller shaft in the front, of course, like a regular shock absorber. I don't know if I want that shaft out of there or not. It takes a lot of work to get that spring and stuff off there. I don't know what this stuff is. There's a couple tags I ripped off it. I don't know why they put that stuff on there when it rubs, but I have no idea. It said, here's the stud. So you can put it up there and put a nut on it, and then you can lay underneath and put the two outside bolts in. So this is towards the inside. Well, I had to fold the seats down and lay in the car, but can't complain. You're laying in the car reaching up there and can't get a deep well to fit in there, so I used a wrench till I could put a short socket on it. So that's the only problem there. Just a little too long for a short socket. A deep well, you just can't fit it up in there. It's kind of cramped. I'll take a picture of that, maybe what it looks like inside the car. But we're going to rest and get back to work. Okay, you got your big bolt. I used the standard socket because I didn't have a metric one to fit it. Notice this. Can you see that in the dark? That's all they had was the rear wheel bearing. If it had ABS, it's the same bearing. If that's what they have in stock, buy it and pay $5 more. That's what we did at the time we had the rear wheel bearings replaced. Same bearing whether it's ABS or not. They just chopped the wire off. Anything that's rust, I'm spraying like the brake lines. Just to help me out a little while longer. Okay, we're going to go show you what the bolt looks like on the inside. Where the two bolts come through, then there's a stud with a nut. Okay, this is the top view real quick. You got the two 10mm headed bolts, and you'll see them sticking through when I show you in the trunk. Hardest part was getting that stud to go through there. I kind of kept fidgeting because it kept hitting down here. You know, the strut kept hitting on the bottom, trying to move it around. Even though I had it sprung down all the way. But I got the fidget up in there. Put a lug nut on whenever you take your wheel off on your brake drum or your rotor on the front disc brake, so nobody don't put on the brakes or knock the thing off or something. It's just a good idea to keep everything lined up. See that up in there where the two studs went through? And then you'll put a nut on the one on the left. See that? You gotta pull the carpet stuff down. But you can pull the seats down and lay in here and do it the easy way. So you don't have to bend your back over into the trunk. Seats full down on this car. This has a full spare in it now, so this don't set straight. Off topic. I want a full spare. Can you read that? I replaced the factory speakers in here once. There's a plastic spacer in here. I know we're off topic, but I used that, glued it to this speaker, and then put longer screws or whatever in here. These have been in here for a long time. You can't blow them out the factory radio. But it cranks, it sounds good. Okay, it does set higher in the back. Before, the bottom of the door where it meets the black used to be about the center line of the wheel, maybe a little below. Now it is almost a little above the center line, and the front used to set below the center line. Now it sets above. So the front gained 2 inches, the back gained about 2 inches. So zoom back out here. It does set up at the back like it did when it was new. There you go. It's been a long afternoon. I just paced myself, go slow, conserve my muscles. The most muscle I needed was the breaker bar for the lug nuts and the big bolt on the strut. So, thanks for watching.